Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I said I was gonna make this video, so a lot of you guys have been anticipating this. It's very deep, it's very emotional. So this video is gonna be how I escaped my narcissist of almost 10 years. This is a person that I met that I had a trauma bond with, someone who manipulated me and my self-worth, my self-esteem. It was just all a game, and I can't go into every detail because there's so much that happened over such a long period of time. But I basically met this person after leaving an abusive relationship. I was straight out of high school and I didn't really think much of myself. And when I saw this guy, he was a promoter, he was very popular, and he just looked like a star to me, gleaming with so much confidence, what it seemed like so much confidence, right? And I just like, oh my God, he's so handsome, he's this. And we end up seeing each other at another party, and I just went for the move. I went for him first because, you know, I got the hint that he was trying to get my attention, and so I just went for it. And we started off having fun, and he was my escape in a way because, like I said, I was in an abusive relationship for 2 years when I was in college, and it was just very verbally and sometimes physical. So when I met him, it was just like, wow, like I am more than what this other person said I was. I attached a lot of my trauma to him, and this guy, my narcissist, treated me like straight up crap from the beginning. He did not respect me. Like, it was just like, but it was in a way where he was still so charming. And I, in that moment, felt like I was lucky to be in his presence. I was lucky to be chose, you know. I thought so low of myself at that time. You know, he basically treated me like I was disposable. And he chose other women over me plenty of times. And I was, somehow I'd get mad and I wouldn't talk to him. And then somehow he would just like come back into my life in a way where I felt like I was being over exaggerating. It was not, you know, he would tell me it was not what you thought it was. You know, you were acting like this, and this is why I started talking to other women. And I was like, well, you know, I was kind of being a little dramatic, and I probably was embarrassing myself. I mean, we're not really together. He's not really my boyfriend. So how can I get mad about stuff like that, you know? And he would just always tell me, like, you know how I feel about you. And it's like, you know, now the adult me is like, really? Because you treated me how you felt about me, and you treated other women how you felt about them as well. So you didn't think much of me, of how I was being treated. But I was, some reason, I was still there, and I fell for this trap every time. And it was just like hot and cold with this person. One minute, they're super hot, right? My narcissist was so hot, and he would come to me and he would be all over me and treat me like I'm just the only girl that he wanted. And I fell for that. I was kind of resistant to it. I wasn't so like easily like, oh, whatever. Like, I was trying to play hard to get, and he would play that game back. It was like cat and mouse. And then it's like somehow he would reverse it to where I am the cat and he is the mouse in a way, but I would never chase him, you know. I just felt like the crazy person. And, you know, it was just many situations that happened between him. And I just remember I kind of like stood up for myself and was like, no, we're gonna be friends. Like, I'm done with this situation. It's not working for me. And he was like, okay, cool, like that's totally fine, right? As a narcissist, like, he's like, you know, I'm not getting rid of him, he was gonna get rid of me. And so in my head, I was still thinking like, yes, I care for this person in some way, you know, this trauma bond with this person. And then somehow I thought we were gonna have a genuine friendship. I thought we were gonna continue the conversations that we had. And he saw me in a public setting, walked straight up to me, looked me in my face, and turned his head all the way around to the back of his head and started dancing in front of everybody. Like, and my friends noticed, and they were like, wow, like, okay. You know, he would not speak to me when he was like angry with me, or I was like, I felt like I was being punished. And I would always ask myself, why am I not good enough? Why does he treat me this way? Why does he dispose me when he's ready to dispose me? Like, why when I'm ready to not talk to him anymore and be done with him, it's like he comes in so hot, you know, and so irresistible in a way. And I thought, you know, and I always was left questioning my self-worth, questioning, what did I do wrong? Why am I not good enough? Why am I not pretty enough? Why, you know, he chose this girl over me. What did she have that I didn't? You know, I always was like in competition with someone, you know, in a way, because I would always question, why does he treat me this way? What did I do? Am I too corny? I just blame myself a lot of the times. I really did blame myself a lot of the times. And he had this hold on me to where this man was in my dreams. The times that we wouldn't talk, it's like he was in my dreams and we were talking and having conversations together, you know? And I remember going into depression. I remember waking up on sunny days and talking to my aunt or someone and feeling like so defeated, so dumb, so useless, so gullible, and, you know, not good enough. And why is it never me? Why am I never chosen? You know, I had this mindset of, you know, that he was just like living his best life and did not care how much I cared about him. And it hurt because one thing that narcissists do is like, you don't get rid of them, they get rid of you. So they'll manipulate you back into the relationship and then dispose you. They won't let you dispose them first. And every time I was left like wanting answers and trying to figure out, I was so confused of how this person felt about me, because it's like, one minute, why do you keep coming back? Why do you keep coming back? And it wouldn't even be like a sexual thing. It would just be, why do you keep coming back in my life? Why do you feel like you can't let me go? Why do you feel like, you know, you're hot and cold? And then all of a sudden I felt like I did something to turn you off from me. Like, I just never understood that. And I remember we didn't talk for years. And I remember he tried to reach out to me via social media, LinkedIn, and I just ignored it. And then one day I just had this urge, because like I said, I would have dreams of him over every blue moon over the years. And finally we talked, right? And this is when, like, this is like a few years ago, we talked. He was like, I want to meet up with you. Like, you're just doing so amazing. Like, I just really want to meet up with you. Da da da. He was just so bombarding me, love bombing me, right? He was just love bombing me, liking all my photos. Like, really just like seemed like he was really had something he wanted to say to me. And it's my little mind, my trauma from that experience and that back and forth of going through that emotion of not feeling good enough, not having any type of self-esteem. I'm like, well, maybe he'll realize what he missed out on now because of where I'm at in life now, you know? I meet up with him because he takes me out, right? It's just blatant, like, disrespect at times. Like, he's like staring at the women. Like, I felt like he was like testing me to see if I was gonna like say something and be like mad about it. I would not show that type of emotion with him. And we met up, and oh my God, let me just tell you, I don't know how many times I got stood up by this person. You would say, why are you being so dumb? It's just like, I had this attachment to him where I felt like maybe I was over exaggerating. I always looked at myself like it was probably me. And I remember going out, and he's like, man, like, I had such, and we would have such a great time. Like, when we would be in front of each other, we would have such a great time. It was like no drama, no arguments, no nothing. It's just us catching up on life, laughing and talking, and he's looking deep in my eyes and like, oh my God, mesmerizing. And I'm just like, wow, like, I'm so intrigued by this person, like, still to this day. He's like, let's do something tonight. I had such a great time. I don't want this day to end. Am I asking for too much? And I was like, no, you're not asking for too much. Like, I'm available tonight. I mean, I have some stuff to do, but after we can do things. So the whole day, I'm just thinking, after I like met with him and I went to an event, I was thinking about him. I was so excited. I was so happy. And I was just thinking about like, oh my gosh, like what are we going to do tonight? Where are we going to go? He's telling me we're going to go to this nice hibachi place. And then I text him. And I get absolutely zero response. And then I call. I get zero response. I literally don't hear from this person at all. And what's crazy is every time he did stuff like that, I never confronted it or brought it up because I was too embarrassed to say that I was bothered that he would stand me up and do stuff like that or get my hopes up, because I felt like that manipulative part, like a lot of this is on me. Like, yes, a lot of this on me, you know, but in my mind, I was so wrapped up on, you know, we had such a great time. There's no way. I just don't know what happened. Like, am I being too desperate? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have said I'm busy, but maybe another time, maybe I'm too available and that's what makes me so unattractive. I questioned myself more than I questioned his personality. I knew he was an a-hole, but at the same time, I also was looking at myself like, oh my God, I should never did this. I did this, and I probably turned him off. And I put a lot of the blame on myself when really it was all a game. And he knew that disappearing like that and going ghost on me would make me think about him more, want him more. And so he did that, and then he stopped watching my Instagram stories, and then he started back watching them again. Then he started hitting me up back on Instagram. And then he started talking to me. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm bothered that we didn't hang out that night. So I'm just going to play it cool. And we'll talk again and we'll text again. And then it was like a situation where we were supposed to hang out. And he's like, hey, I'm on my way. And this was like weeks later. I'm on my way. He never showed up. I was dressed to get ready to hang out with him for his birthday, and he never showed up. And I tried to call him and text him. He did not show up. And I did not hear from him for 2 weeks. And he tries to hit me up and say, oh, you know, I got pulled over and all this yada 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 stuff, right? And I'm like, no, F you. Like, you know, that was really messed up, and I'm so tired of the manipulation and the games that you pull on me. You stand me up, and then when we're together, you're so interested to me. You're planning all these things with me. You're getting my hopes up, only to let me down multiple times. And I feel like that had a lot to do with my childhood, as in me getting my hopes up about certain things and adults in my life letting me down multiple times and not showing up and not being there. And that goes into my trauma bond, you know, that I was holding on and looking for validation from this person. It was just like I was just trying to look for some type of validation, and not this illusion in my head that we didn't have something real. So again, he hit me up, and I ignored him. He kept hitting me up and I kept ignoring him. And then he sends me literally 70 text messages. 70 something text messages apologizing over and over and over and over again, all at once. And my phone was just blowing up. And I was just like, what the heck? Are you crazy? And finally, he I don't even know the details, because I think one more incident like that happened again. And he finally calls me and goes, I have been an a-hole to you, and you are so deserving of so much more. I really rock with you. We've been doing this for, I've known you for this many years, and you know, I just feel like you deserve the best, and I just want to show you the better side of myself. And you know, I haven't been the best person, and you're just so worthy. And these women out here, they're not crap. And you've always been, you always show me the good in women, and just the manipulation, right? And I was like, all right. And he sends me, you know, edible arrangements to my job, and I was so happy about it. You know, I was like, oh my God, like, this is so sweet. Like, I haven't had any guys send me anything at my job. And you know, he ended up taking me out on a date, and he was like so excited about the date the night before, and I had this paranoia that he was gonna stand me up again. But he ended up calling me like late at night and was like, oh my God, I just want to make sure we're still on. He was calling me the next day making sure we were still on. And then we went out and we dated for like, you know, we went out and then like went out on a date, and then we hung out another time. And he was just like, we really were like hanging out, and he was coming over to my house and I was going over to his house, and we would stay up and talk till like 7 a.m., you know, on my rooftop, and we would just stay talking about life and everything. And I really just got to know him on a deeper level. And I realized that this person has trauma as well, and how he thinks about women, and how he grew up, and his mother, and how he's trying so hard to be successful, to prove to everybody else that he's somebody. This person also has very low self-esteem and doesn't even realize it, and that he's trying so hard to prove that he is someone, you know, to get that validation as well. And I could see why we attracted each other, because we're both looking for validation. And I guess I gave him some type of validation by always, you know, being there hand and foot. And then he gave me some validation where he was popular in my eyes. He was somebody that was going to be successful in my eyes. And I allowed that to blur my vision of what he was really in front of me. And there was an incident where, you know, I made my video on being stood up, and this person stood me up. We were supposed to do something when it involved our kids, and it was supposed to be like a friendly thing. And he's the one who planned it and kept talking about it. I literally got ready and, you know, everything. And I called him, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. I texted him, I said, are we still going? He's like, yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. Okay. And then we're supposed to meet at, he's like, we're going to meet at this time. I go and get ready to go to the place, this fun place or whatever. And he literally starts ignoring my calls. And I started having this anxiety, like, this is not happening. This is not happening again. And it took me that day to realize that this will never end. This will always be a cycle. I would never be this person's it person, because if I look at all his past relationships, nobody is his it person. He needs to find himself. And once I realized that I don't deserve this, and I'm no longer tolerating this in my life, and I choose what's in my life and what's not going to be in my life, that is the day that I was like, I will forever let you go. You will never get the opportunity to do this to me again. And I didn't do it with anger. I did it with so much peace. And that's how I knew I was free, because I wasn't so much as angry. I was more so as like, I'm disappointed that you proved me right. And that you're not who I made you to be. Because sometimes we make this illusion in our head of who a person is, and they're really not all that in a bag of chips. And I let him go, and I have not talked to him since. I unfollowed him on every social media account, and I just do not watch for his life. I genuinely do not care. In the past, I've always checked in, made sure he was okay, try to see who he's dating, and I was always happy about that. Like, oh, he found love. I'm so glad he found love, and hopefully he could treat this woman right. I genuinely do not care. I genuinely do not care. I wish him nothing but the best, but he does not have access to me anymore. And I feel a sense of freedom. And it was so hard for me to come to those terms. And how I came to that term was maybe somewhere in a different universe, we are together. But in this universe, the way we were raised, the way my mind is set up, the way your mind is set up, we do not belong together. And who I am now does not deserve somebody like that. I deserve something so much greater. And I knew and believed that it was out there and that I was going to find something that's real and genuine and not manipulative, because love does not hurt. It's not manipulative, and it doesn't require you questioning your self-worth. I was able to escape my narcissist of almost 10 years. And I feel good about it. So I don't know if you're someone out there. Now that I talk about it, I feel like I sound so foolish because of how much wisdom I've gained over the years. And I've been kind of embarrassed to even talk about this, but I know this story is going to help somebody. Whether you're dealing with somebody who constantly cheats on you, ghosts you, manipulate you. You know, I have women reach out to me all the time and tell me, like, the man tells them that they love them, but then they cheat on them and tell them that they cheated on them. Or, you know, he's abusive and he's mentally abusive. Just know that that attachment, that love, that heavy feeling you feel in your heart when you're with them, it's not love, and more so trauma bond and attachment to your narcissist, and the manipulation that your narcissist has gotten your self-esteem and your self-worth so low where you don't think much of yourself. And I'm telling you, that is not real love. Real love is when you feel safe in that person's arms. You don't feel like that person is there to hurt you, harm you, or destroy you. You genuinely feel safe, and not in a way where you feel safe as in like they got your back but they hurt you at the same time. You genuinely know that person intentions is to not hurt you and harm you and love you conditionally and grow with you and understand you and listen to you and make sure that they put more smiles on your face and you're laughing more than crying with that person. That is what is love to me. And what I felt with this person was anxiety. I felt insecure, unstable. I did not know when he was gonna leave. I didn't know if I was gonna say the wrong thing. I was just like, I just have to impress him so he can stay. And it felt like a tug of war with this person. And when you leave out of a relationship or a situationship with a narcissist, you will feel defeated. You will question yourself. You will look at your self-worth. You will feel like you did something wrong. And that is the goal of a narcissist, is that they flip everything on you to where you are taking the blame, a lot of the blame, for a lot of the things that they have caused. Are we responsible? Yes, we are responsible for how we allow people to treat us. But when you're holding on to that person because of trauma, it's very hard for a lot of people to decipher. So I say this to say, because my battery is about to die, I'm going to wrap up this video. But I say this to say that you're not alone, and go to therapy, heal as much as possible, read as many books, watch videos like these, and I promise you, you will get through it. And hopefully it will not take you nearly 10 years to get rid of this person. Even though I had relationships in between, it's just like I allowed this person to come back in and out of my life, and instead of saying no. So hopefully, guys, this video has helped you. Share your narcissist experience below, and let me know how you were able to get out of your narcissist relationship, and any tips and advice you would like to give other ladies and women and men who are going through the same thing. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Brittany the Shade. The link is down below in the description box. Thank you guys for watching this video so much, and look forward to more content in the future. All right, bye.